Well, hello everyone and welcome. My name is Mr. Cutler. So what I've done here is share some photos of who I am and some things that are dear to me and some interests. So I've shared a photo of my family, a picture of my technical background, as well as a hobby that we enjoy doing. So I've included a picture of the campsite where we were this past summer. And what this does is just share your openness, even share some vulnerability, as well as showing confidence. So those are just things that you hope to instill in your students, and by demonstrating this at the beginning of class, you hope to gain some of those qualities from them as well. Along with this is the name tag. So I'm sorry I didn't get a picture of the name tag while we were in class, so I made my own here at home, but the tag's a powerful activity that shows some creativity and just helps promote some personal connections within the class. For MLLs, their names are often a vital part of their identity, so there's with so much change happening in their lives, a name tag can be one thing that stays the same for them and that they carry with them. Their names can sometimes be overlooked and even mispronounced, so it's important to connect with them and ask them how they pronounce their name to maybe find out what it means. And this just shows that you care, that you're compassionate, and helps build the relationship and trust between you and your students. It can also help build conversation with other students and help make those connections and help everyone feel welcomed in the class. And even for students to find similarities and common interests can be the first step in making acquaintances and establishing the friendships that they need. Here I just wanted to share my 3 facts, 2 ahas, and one thing I'd like to know more about after watching the video. So I don't want to talk too much, so I'll just leave the post up. So then I wanted to do this quiz that was on the slides, and for code switching, in the slides it talks about this being a vital strategy used by learners who speak or are learning more than one language. And for MLLs, a student might switch between English and their home language when they're explaining a concept to a peer who shares their same language. So in the classroom, just recognizing code switching as a strength rather than being an error or something that you have to fix just helps support their language development and affirms their identity. Translanguaging is really helpful for them as well. So a bit different than code switching, but in the classroom, this might look like a student taking notes in their home language while reading English, or discussing a concept in both languages to help clarify maybe a technical term if we're in the tech shop or something like that. So encouraging translanguaging again helps them reaffirm their identity and their language, and helps deepen their comprehension of complex ideas. Assimilation for MLLs, there's just pressures to assimilate when they come into a new school with a strong culture. So just helping them recognize their own culture and celebrate their language. If the school doesn't, then you can do that in your classroom by supporting them that way. And helping them see that their language and their background is an asset and not a barrier. Stages of the culture shock. So honeymoon, things when you first show up, you have that excitement and the optimism when you come to a new school or a new country, but Of course, that only lasts for so long, and then there's that culture shock that sets in, so that can be frustrating. And along with it comes feelings of anxiety or disorientation. So they can be faced with lots of different unfamiliar languages, or the customs, the norms, and the expectations are different. Hopefully at some period that changes and there's a transition into adjustment. So a gradual adaptation happens for the student, where they can start to know the routines and what the expectation is and what those culture cues are after seeing them take place over a period of time. And then lastly is the acceptance. So here they're more comfortable, confident, and hopefully have found that happy balance between taking on the new cultures but still holding on to their own. And for the teachers, it's important to see these stages to know where those students are transitioning and just be patient with them, because it does take time. It is a process. The types of ESL learners, so we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Beginners are really the first stages of English acquisition, so they rely heavily probably on visual cues and gestures and some translation tools to communicate. Intermediate, we're looking at just a better confidence in their oral and written communication, but still have some vocabulary or structure support because they're not quite fluent yet. And advanced is the students really approaching fluency, and they can engage in the academic content of the courses, but they still might struggle with some discipline-specific language. So again, that could be very specific to the course that they're in. So that's where the STEP framework, the Steps to English Proficiency, comes in, where the educators can just assess and support the learners across those stages and just see where they are with their reading, their writing, and their vocabulary, period. BICS is really when you're immersed in the language. So I can relate to this growing up in Quebec. So I did acquire my French language this way. But it's really a conversational language skill developed about within 2 years of immersion. And it helps the student with the casual talk, so helps them at least communicate to each other, but might not actually be enough for academic success. And then following that is the CALP. So this really takes about 5 to 7 years, but it's the language needed to understand and use academic concepts and texts. So in the classes that they're in. I just wanted to share this as well, just tagging back into the stages of culture shock. So I can relate to this as well. Just went on a 2-week mission trip several years ago to Kenya, Africa, and I can definitely relate to the first two and how that settled in with me. We didn't stay long enough for us to need to transition or make many adjustments, but definitely felt the euphoria and the shock. The new moves video that we watched, it was an oldie but a good one, and it helped me realize the importance of welcoming and orientating MLLs And just think about how some of the behaviors and the gestures, emotions that they're going through may come across normal for some, but may not be widely accepted by most. So it's important as a teacher to know those and see them in the class. The group activity we did at the end of the September weekend was good to just help reveal some of the assumptions of the challenges that come along with newcomers, what they're faced with, and then the reality of what those challenges might be. Lastly was the activity we did as a group to just support students who have experienced trauma. We focused our conversations around predictability, on choice, as well as support. So just some things that you can do as a teacher to help your students who have experienced trauma.